Hello friends, welcome back to Raja Notes channel, your weekly current updates channel every Sunday. If you are new to my channel, kindly click that subscribe button and press that bell icon so that you get intimation of the current affairs happening every week. Last week we had seen that during the Democratic Summit, which was hosted by Joe Biden, Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, had said that the social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, etc., have to be controlled for a proper democracy in this world. Well, I think there could not have been a much faster reaction. The Twitter handle of Prime Minister Narendra Modi was briefly compromised and was hacked, and the tweet came out from his handle saying that India has officially adopted a Bitcoin as a legal tender, and the government has officially bought about 500 Bitcoins and is distributing them to all residents of the country, and they have posted probably a link which certainly is a scam. The question is, if tomorrow a tweet of some other nature goes from the handle of President, Prime Minister, Chief Minister, or as a matter of fact any minister of the country, see the repercussions what it can make in a country. See the kind of fallout what a wrong tweet can do. Therefore, this is a very volatile topic, can be a good topic for discussion, debates, interviews, probably your SSBs, that is the social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and maybe WhatsApp a threat to democracy. It can be debated very well, so please apply yourself on this topic. The Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia has announced that 5 schools will be opened in Madhya Pradesh, basically in Gwalior, Bhopal, Indore, Jabalpur and Satna, to train the youngsters in drone technology and open new employment opportunities for them. Well, we know that it is the time wherein the drones are being used in all possible ways one can imagine, right from the nascent things of taking photographs to now delivering the payloads of about 10 to 15 kgs across a distance in hospitable terrains. The drones are being used everywhere. There are a lot of drone rules which have come in. There are green zones, red zones, yellow zones and all sorts of things. But now we are happy that at least such kind of schools will give proper training, proper education to kids in this field, and also will open up a lot of employment possibilities in the near future. The Commerce and Industry Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, had said that Centre has increased the bank deposits insurance cover. We all know that suppose you have a bank account in say SBI and you have about say 10 lakhs in your account, the bank goes bankrupt, there is no way that you get your money back, and present limit is 1 lakh. Out of that 10 lakh, now you only get 1 lakh, and that too if you keep constantly fighting, representing with the government and so on and so forth, which is not sure. But now the Centre has increased this limit from 1 lakh to 5 lakhs. That means to say, if in maybe last year you used to get 1 lakh, probably now you will get 5 lakhs. But this gambit has come in within this, the thing will be refunded to depositor within 90 days. So this is a good step, though 5 lakh is a very small amount for a life savings, but still at least now they have fixed a time period where the banks are bound to pay the money, else the government will step in. Israeli Prime Minister Mr. Naftali Bennett becomes the first Prime Minister from Israel to visit the United Arab Emirates. He has met the Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on Monday, and this is a very big, I must say, move. No Israeli has ever visited the United Arab Emirates. If you see, it is they are considered to be the opposites as far as when the religion comes, and there has been always a bone of contention between Israelis and the Middle East countries. We know that. And at present there are tensions going on between Iran and the world powers over the nuclear deal. So this visit is seen as a very major step towards what has happened in the Abraham Accord, and let's hope everything turns out well for this meeting, and maybe the world is going towards a nicer and a safer place. We had recently discussed that the government had proposed to increase the tenures of important people by over 3 years. Well, again an example now coming in, the RBI governor Mr. Shaktikanta Das, he has started his extended 3 years term as the Reserve Bank of India's governor, and he becomes the first RBI governor to get a second term since Prime Minister Narendra Modi led government came into power in 2014. And he was supposed to be retiring in 2021 December, but now he gets a 3 years term. India is planning to send a manned deep sea mission to find hidden minerals, likely to be done in 2024. Well, this mission is named as Mission Samudrayana in 2024, wherein 3 scientists will be sent to a depth of 5 kilometers into the sea to find the hidden mineral deposits, and they will be using the Matsya 6000. Well, what is Matsya 6000? It is basically a deep sea vehicle which was tested very recently, and it can go to greater heights without losing its capabilities. We all understand that there is a tremendous pressure on any kind of a vehicle which goes down deep into the sea, and it buckles under the pressure. So Matsya has been tested on that, and it was successful. So it will be, Matsya will be going. Matsya is basically a fish, and we probably would get to know more about the depths of the ocean, and also discover maybe some kind of a minerals in the Indian Ocean region. An update in coming from the point of defense. India successfully test fired its supersonic missile assisted torpedo in Orissa. We had seen that India first time tested this about 3 months back, and it was called as SMART, that is supersonic missile assisted release of torpedo, SMART. This was shot off Balasore coast in Orissa, and this system has been designed to enhance an anti-submarine warfare capabilities far beyond the conventional range of torpedo. As we said, torpedoes are launched from the seaborne platforms, they travel in the sea and then hit the target, but now we are talking about a missile taking off from far off places, moving like a missile, then getting into the sea, and finally becoming a torpedo. So that is a very good step which has been taken, and a new development which has come from DRDO, and the system is being developed to use by the Indian Navy very soon. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had not only offered prayers at Sri Kashi Vishwanath Temple in Varanasi, but also inaugurated phase 1 of the Sri Kashi Vishwanath Dham corridor. Well, this was constructed at the cost of 339 crores. The Kashi Vishwanath corridor project is basically connecting the main temple to the banks of Ganga in a straight path. If you had visited Varanasi, Benares sometime, you would have noticed the kind of illegal constructions which came up, and there is no pathway directly from the temple to the banks of Ganga. You have to do a crisscross in the mazes of the houses and lanes, very narrow lanes. Well, that has been widened up, and it is a treat to see the pictures what have come up. Now a person can straight away walk from the banks of Ganga directly to the temple. Last update, we had discussed about India's Harnaz Sandhu, that she was fighting for Miss Universe 2021. Well, the results are in, and she has made the country proud, and she is the 3rd Indian to win this title of Miss Universe. And we know that erstwhile we had only 2 who were crowned as Miss Universe. One was the actress Miss Sushmita Sen in 1994, and second one was Lara Datta in 2000. Well, 21 years old Harnaz is the 2nd youngest Indian to be crowned as Miss Universe. Kudos. An IIT team has developed a portable soil testing device that can detect soil's health in just 90 seconds. And this device is linked to a mobile app named as Bhu Parikshak. Bhu is earth, Parikshak is a tester. So Bhu Parikshak is what you have to remember. And this is such a beautiful innovation that this device just scans the earth, and it can not only give you the result of the content of that particular soil at that place, but also can suggest the recommended fertilizers for the crops after inspecting the soil health. This device works on the near infrared spectroscopy technology, and it can test up to 1 lakh soil samples. So even maybe an 8th class pass student can also use this. So basically it's a very good innovation for the farmers, and instead of putting your own mind as to what fertilizers to use, probably this device comes so handy that farmers can use it for a better production. The next topic is about the NSO group. We all are aware as to what this NSO group is. It's an Israeli spyware company which was involved in the very controversial Pegasus case which had come up, and the Pegasus software is the one which can track any mobile phone and can snoop into the mobile and can steal any kind of a data which you think is safe. Let it be iPhone, let it be an Android, let it be it just can snoop onto any telephone what it wants. Now this Israeli company is all set up to sell its company as per the reports. Well, why does it figure out in this update? It is because now the Pegasus is being bought by two American, or rather two companies which are being funded by America. So you know that this technology now is going from Israel to US, and probably then thereafter what all. So just to know that if it was there till this power was there till one country, now it has gone to two countries. So what arm twisting US has done to Israel, we don't know. What is the background to this, or why has Israel agreed to even do this, we don't know. But a point you can just keep it at the back of your mind in case in future we come across some point wherein we have to deal with the US Israeli relationship. A very interesting thing happened in the national capital of New Delhi. A British era tunnel was found in the premise of Delhi Assembly, and not only that tunnel, but a gallow room was found in the building. The building housed the Central Legislative Assembly between year 1913 to 1926. The Delhi Legislative Assembly Speaker Mr. Ram Nivas Goyal said that the British administrators later turned this building into a court, and he also added that actually the revolutionaries were bought from the Red Fort via a tunnel inside. We had also seen last probably in the update that there was a tunnel which was discovered towards the Secretariat from the Red Fort. Well, that tunnel was used to bring the revolutionaries and execute them in the probably the premise of the Delhi Assembly. So a discovery which has happened, and I thought I'd just share it. Well, nothing major takeaway point from this, just a piece of information. When I was doing this probably the update, just before I did as today, I had said that there were much of enthusiasm across the country when we heard that Group Captain Varun was getting slowly stable at the hospital. Group Captain Varun was the sole survivor of the ill-fated helicopter Mi-17 crash, wherein we lost our CDS, and so many prayers were going on to him for his faster recovery. But by the time I am doing this video, Group Captain Varun succumbed to his injuries, and the doctors could not save him. But I had no heart to put his demise picture here, and I let it be with this picture only, wherein we were praying for his good health and faster recovery. may God bless his soul wherever he is. Varun was a fighter, and his father was said that he is ever proud of him. Valiant losses, I must say, for the country. 13 people killed in that crash. Well, a point which is there, concern for everyone now. If you are using a Google Chrome as your web browser, it is highly recommended that you go to the settings of the web browser, click on the About button, and it will show you the present version of the Google Chrome, whether it is on your mobile, whether it's on your laptop, and then go and update it immediately the moment you finish this video. Because as per the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, that is CRETIN, the government has issued a high severity warning for Google Chrome users. It says that it has got some vulnerability, and that this vulnerability can be used and it can be exploited by the remote attackers to execute probably an arbitrary code on the user system, and it is something like somebody attacking you with a ransomware. So therefore, please update your Google Chrome like now. So immediately after this video, please go to your laptop, open a Google Chrome and update your Google Chrome. The Chrome has released a patch for it. Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh had said that India must immediately move towards developing a hypersonic cruise missile system to maintain minimum credible deterrence against its enemy. Well, he is directly indicating at the Chinese advancement in this. We had discussed about 3 updates previous as to how China had developed the hypersonic cruise missiles, which were capable of hitting even targets as far as America. So to maintain that minimum credible deterrence against its enemy, India now needs to develop this hypersonic cruise missile system. We already have the hypersonic vehicle demonstrator, which we had already seen. India has already made a test flight of that, and it was successful. So probably this is one step ahead of it, and we hope that India will be announcing this soon in case if it is put in a right perspective. Again, a good news. Last time we had seen the Twitter chief. Now we see Indian origin Leena Nair named as new global CEO of Chanel. Well, Ms. Nair was actually associated with the Hindustan Unilever for last about 30 years, and now she has been she joins the fashion brand company Chanel as a CEO. So one more Indian on the top of the world of companies, I must say. Great thing happening. More of an examination point of view center has released about 604 crore rupees grant to Jammu and Kashmir under Jal Jeevan Mission. Well, the center funds have allotted about 2,747 crores to J&K in 21 and 22 for implementation of this Jal Jeevan Mission, which is nearly 4 times of the allocation made in 2021. J&K plans to become Har Ghar Jal Union Territory by August 2022. We are aware that as of now, J&K is primarily dependent on the water supply system from the springs, and no specific tap or the water system or drinking water systems are available. So probably this will put in a tap system, and it will help people to settle down in a much better way, maybe planning of the city, or it helps more of the tourism. Many options are many, but it's a good thing for the local population. Well, after Miss Universe, the 24-year-old Manasa Varshini Varanasi, sorry, my mistake, it is Manasa Varanasi, will represent Miss World in 2021. And the Miss Manasa was born in Hyderabad, and she is 24 years old. She was crowned Miss India in 2020 after having won Miss India Telangana 2020 title. She has done a schooling from Global Indian and graduated in computer science from Vasavi College of Engineering. Let's see. But as what we hear in the latest is because one of the participant in the Miss World competition was found COVID positive. The competition has been postponed for a little time. So probably by next update, we will come to know what is it with Miss World 2021 title. The NASA's spacecraft Parker Solar Probe touched the Sun's uppermost atmosphere, the corona, for the first time in the history. The spacecraft sampled the particles and the magnetic fields there. The Parker Solar Probe, this is what you need to remember, it touched this, touching the Sun is a monumental moment for the solar science and is truly a remarkable feat. And this probe was launched in 2018, and finally in 2021 it reaches there and touches the outer crust corona of the Sun. Well, it will orbit within 6.2 million kilometers of the Sun in 2024. A latest news coming in from Union IT Minister Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, saying that there is no proposal with the ministry to revoke the ban on the blocked Chinese mobile applications, which India had done in year 2020, wherein India had banned 118 Chinese linked mobile apps, including the PUBG. We all were aware of it, we were happy about it, and that included TikTok, ShareIt, UC browser kind of a things. But now the point to understand and discuss here is, last update we had discussed how India had entered, rather ISRO had entered an understanding with Oppo India to field its navigation app Navik into the system. Now Oppo is a Chinese mobile system, Chinese mobile company, and ISRO's this Navik is not a normal app. It is a data wherein the country's absolute data can be compromised by this Chinese making company, mobile company Oppo. So what is it behind this? At one particular time we say that there is no compromise, we are not going to use Chinese mobile apps in India. On the other side, we also give out our one of the major app to a Chinese making company, mobile making company. Is there any logic behind this? Well, I don't know. It is again a debatable point as to why not, instead of either keeping banning things, why not use the same things for our gains? Why not push our technology to others while keeping a strict control on the mobile? Well, a point to discuss and think about. Probably for after about 20 years, the farmers started cultivation on the fields between India's border fencing and the zero line of the international border in Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua. Well, this is a land which is generally a no man's land. Nobody would venture out there. The farmers had their lands there, but they couldn't cultivate it because of the constant shelling from the Pakistani side. And with the latest ceasefire agreements coming in, now the farmers have started cultivating it, and one should know that a good quality of basmati rice is cultivated in this sector, and it gives out, it has got a lot of aroma and flavor for the basmati rice which grows in the sector. Well, it's a good thing. Our farmers on the border areas happen to cultivate their own lands probably after 20 years with the help of BSF. The government of India has given in principle approval for setting up a 6 nuclear plant reactors of about 1650 megawatts each in Maharashtra's Maharashtra's Jaitapur, and this was confirmed by the Minister of State for Atomic Energy, Mr. Jitendra Singh. And with this, the total capacity of about 9,900 megawatts will be generated, and this becomes the largest nuclear power generation site in India. Whilst amongst all these newses, one news which quietly slipped with through everybody's mind is Bhutan has conferred its highest civilian award of the Nagdag Pelgi Khorolo on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Well, I might be pronouncing it a little off, but the highest civilian award has been given to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Bhutan's Majesty, His Majesty highlighted all the unconditional friendship that Modi ji offered him or extended to the country over the long pandemic year. Well, it looking very good on that front. Bhutan has always been a very good strategic partner to India, and it's an honor for anyone to receive the highest civilian award of that particular country. So Narendra Modi now gets a Bhutan one also. We remember that he was given, the same was given to him in probably in Dubai also. There were a lot of speculations post the demise of our CDS as to who will be the next CDS, and there were speculations that somebody has been already appointed. Well, nothing of that sort has happened. The army chief, the present army chief, General Naravne, has taken over the chairman of the chiefs of staff committee and assumed the charge of it as only as a stop gap measure after demise of CDS General Rawat. Well, the chairman of the chiefs of the staff committee used to be the senior most among the three service chiefs before the creation of CDS post. Well, now people are also speculating this as a first step. Maybe the present chief becomes this next CDS, but it is just a speculations. Probably we'll have to wait and watch as to what will be the next step. Government will probably announce it very soon. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid foundation stone of the Uttar Pradesh longest expressway. This expressway is called as Ganga Expressway. So a point again to remember, Ganga Expressway in Uttar Pradesh, Shahjahanpur. This expressway is 594 kilometers, 6-lane expressway, and it will be built at the cost of 36,200 crores, and it will become the longest expressway of UP on completion. Well, this expressway, Ganga Expressway, will start near the Bijauli village in Meerut and will extend till Judapur Dhandu village in Prayagraj. So, a lot of schemes happening in UP, and this is the latest one for that. Many things can be spoken on that, but just to know that infrastructural development is really going on a very faster pace. This is not only in UP, in across the country. You see there is a lot of change in the way our roads are coming up, and that is a very good sign. Well, that is all I have to say. The Omicron is still around, looming around, though it is not deadly as the Delta variant. I still say please wear mask whenever you're going out. At least be safe from the Omicron. No one will probably die of Omicron, but why undergo that trouble of not being well in these tough times? Please wear your mask. Tell your loved one also to wear the mask. Take care and help others in staying well. Thank you so much for listening to me, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to it. I'll see you next week, next Sunday. Thank you so much. Take care.